Marcus Kane stood in the opulent grand ballroom of the Sinclair Hotel, instantly feeling out of place. His plain white t-shirt, the nicest casual piece he owned, contrasted sharply with the tuxedos and evening gowns around him. Crystal chandeliers sparkled overhead, their glimmer probably worth more than his entire apartment. He had been dragged here by his friend Derek, a valet at the hotel, who thought it would be hilarious to sneak Marcus into the exclusive charity gala. "Come on, man," Derek had said. "You work on fancy cars all day but never see the people who own them. Live a little. Free food, open bar. What's the worst that could happen?" Marcus had agreed reluctantly. His daughter, Lily, was at a sleepover, and he had nothing else to do that Saturday night. Now, sitting alone with a slice of pizza, somehow procured from the catering staff, he was beginning to question that decision. "Is that pizza?" a voice asked, amused but kind. Marcus looked up to see a woman in an elegant white gown standing beside him. Her long dark hair and warm brown eyes carried genuine curiosity rather than judgment. "Yeah," Marcus replied, feeling his face heat. "The catering staff felt bad for me, I guess. Gave me something from the kitchen staff's dinner." She laughed, a genuine, melodic sound that turned heads nearby. "That's the best food in the building. Trust me, I've been to enough of these events to know the catering is always better than what they serve the guests." A small girl, around 8 years old, appeared at the woman's side. "Mom, can we go soon? I'm bored." "Soon? Sweetheart, why don't you sit down for a minute?" The woman gestured to the empty chairs at Marcus' table. "May we join you?" Sure," Marcus said, slightly nervous. The woman gracefully seated herself, and the little girl climbed into the chair beside her. "I'm Olivia Sinclair. This is my daughter, Sophie." Marcus' stomach sank. Sinclair, the family that owned the hotel, the billionaire CEO he had seen on the news. He was now eating pizza in front of one of the wealthiest women in the city. "I should probably mention I don't exactly belong here," Marcus mumbled. "None of us really belong anywhere," Olivia said with a small smile. "We just pretend better in some places than others." "What do you do, Marcus?" "I'm a mechanic. Fix cars. Raise my daughter," he said honestly. Sophie perked up. "I don't have a dad. He left before I was born." Olivia's eyes softened. "It's tough sometimes, isn't it? Doing it alone." "It is," Marcus admitted. "Though kids don't care about resources. They just want your time and attention." Before Olivia could respond, a group of men in tuxedos approached the table. Marcus recognized the type immediately: wealthy, entitled, used to treating others as beneath them. Olivia's tone grew firm as one man sneered. "And who's this?" "This is Marcus," she replied. "We were just having a conversation." The men's expressions changed as they took in Marcus' casual clothes and demeanor. It was clear this was a setup. "Gentlemen," Olivia said, her voice icy, "if you'll excuse us." They insisted he join them to discuss the charity auction, making subtle jabs about his profession and income. Marcus responded calmly, refusing to rise to their bait, displaying quiet dignity. "You come here hoping to meet wealthy women looking for a meal ticket, right?" one of them sneered. Laughter followed. "I work hard. I support my daughter." "That's it," Marcus replied firmly. Olivia stood beside him, her presence commanding respect. "Actually, gentlemen," she said, "I have something to say." She denounced their behavior, defended Marcus' dignity, and silenced the room. Sophie looked at Marcus thoughtfully. "Do you like your daughter?" "More than anything," he answered. "Then I like him," Sophie declared. "Can we be friends?" Olivia's expression softened. "Friends it is," she said, extending her hand to Marcus. They returned to their table. The room's atmosphere shifted, and Marcus realized this night, awkward and humiliating at first, had become something unforgettable. The following Saturday, Marcus Kane and his daughter Lily arrived at a cozy, family-friendly Italian restaurant, far removed from the grandeur of the Sinclair Hotel. They were greeted by Olivia and Sophie, who were already seated at a table covered in colorful paper placemats Marcus scattered around from a recent drawing session. "Hi, Marcus. Lily, come sit," Olivia called warmly. Sophie waved enthusiastically. The girls immediately bonded, chattering about their shared love of drawing and playful complaints about bedtime. "Your daughter's wonderful," Olivia said, watching Lily color a princess castle. "So is yours," Marcus replied with a smile. "She's got your honesty." Olivia's eyes softened as she observed Sophie's candid, uncomplicated judgment of people. "That thing she said at the event," Olivia whispered, "about liking you because you love your daughter and work hard, that was pure clarity." Sophie, unbothered by social hierarchies, reminded Olivia how simple human character could be. "Rich people, we complicate everything," Olivia thought. Sophie cuts through all that nonsense. Over pasta and breadsticks, the adult began to talk, really talk. Olivia shared her story of building a hotel empire from a single property left by her grandfather, the challenges of proving herself in a male-dominated industry, and the difficulties of raising Sophie alone while managing $1 billion company. Marcus shared his world, too, the daily grind of being a single dad, the constant responsibility of providing for Lily, and the pride in fixing things with his hands. He spoke about the satisfaction of honesty and hard work, the small victories of everyday life, and the worry that always lingered over making ends meet. "I have a confession," Olivia said as dessert arrived, a warm tiramisu placed in front of each of them. Marcus raised an eyebrow. "I had you investigated," she admitted. Marcus blinked. "Should I be worried?" "No. I was curious because of Richard's story," Olivia explained. "I needed to know if there was truth to it. And you are exactly who you said you are. A hard-working single dad, respected by your customers, raising an incredible daughter, active in your community." Marcus felt a mix of relief and slight unease. "That feels like an invasion of privacy." "It was," Olivia said gently, "but in my position, I have to be careful. People want things from me constantly. I needed to know if you were different or just good at hiding it. You're different, which is why I want to see you again, if you're interested." Marcus looked at Lily and Sophie laughing together, ice cream dripping onto paper placemats, and then at Olivia, powerful yet genuine. "I'm interested," he admitted, "but I have to be honest. I don't fit into your world. That charity event, that's your reality. Eventually, you'll want someone who belongs there. I want someone real. Someone who works hard, loves his daughter, and doesn't see you as a bank account with a pretty face." Olivia smiled, appreciating his honesty. "That's exactly who I want too. Someone who calls me out if I get lost in wealth or power, who stays true to himself." Their conversation was interrupted by Olivia's phone call. She listened carefully, nodding occasionally. Before hanging up, "Richard and his friends place a bet," she explained. "They dared Derek to get you into the event as a joke. When that failed, they tried to provoke you themselves, to see if you'd lose your composure." Marcus clenched his jaw, but Olivia continued. "Derek didn't know the full plan. He just needed money for rent. He's been reassigned to a different property, and Richard and his friends are permanently banned from all Sinclair properties." Marcus relaxed slightly. "I understand. We've all made mistakes for money." Olivia reached out, placing her hand over his. "Everything else tonight is on the rich guys. You did nothing wrong." The remainder of the evening was relaxed, warm, and genuine. Marcus, Olivia, and the girls laughed, shared stories, and enjoyed their simple yet meaningful meal. Marcus realized that despite the earlier humiliation, tonight was authentic. No pretense, no social hierarchy, just connection, laughter, and respect. Sophie leaned on Marcus' shoulder. "I like you," she said simply, echoing the words she'd used at the hotel. Lily smiled, realizing that she and Sophie had found a bond. In that moment, Marcus understood the true lesson. Real character shines under pressure. The wealthy men at the charity had failed the test, but the small, insightful judgment of an 8-year-old had seen the truth all along. As they left the restaurant, Olivia turned to Marcus. "I want to see you again. Let's make it simple. Our kid can play, we can talk, and we can be ourselves." Marcus nodded. "I'd like that," he said. And just like that, what had started as a humiliating setup turned into the beginning of a genuine friendship and, perhaps, something more. Marcus realized that sometimes life's richest moments don't come from wealth or status, but from honesty, kindness, and the courage to stand firm in your values. Over the next 6 months, Marcus Kane and Olivia Sinclair explored their growing connection. Their meetings were simple, honest, and completely removed from the grandeur of Olivia's world of luxury hotels and high society events. Weekend breakfasts at local diners, walks in the park, shared trips to the grocery store, and casual movie nights became their norm. Lily and Sophie quickly bonded, their laughter filling every space they occupied together. "I can't believe how easy it is to just be ourselves around each other," Marcus remarked one afternoon while pushing Lily on a swing. Sophie ran around them, giggling. Olivia smiled, leaning against a nearby bench. "Because it's real. No games, no fake smiles. Just honesty, hard work, and love." During these months, Olivia and Marcus learned from each other in subtle yet profound ways. Marcus admired Olivia's strength, her decisiveness, and the way she balanced her empire with raising her daughter. Olivia, on the other hand, was fascinated by Marcus's unwavering dedication to Lily, his integrity, and his ability to find joy in the simplest of things, a warm home-cooked meal, fixing a car, or watching Lily draw. One chilly Saturday evening, after a shared dinner at Marcus's modest apartment, Olivia turned to him with a serious expression. "Marcus, there's something I want to do. Something that might surprise you." Marcus raised an eyebrow, curious yet cautious. "Okay, what is it?" Without hesitation, Olivia got down on one knee. Marcus froze, his eyes widening in shock. "I know this is unconventional," she said, smiling up at him, "but I don't wait for the things I want. Marcus Kane, you've shown me what real strength looks like. Not wealth, not power, but character, integrity, and love. Will you marry me?" Marcus's heart raced. He looked around at Lily and Sophie, who were giggling excitedly at the unexpected proposal. He glanced back at Olivia, the woman who had offended him when others had mocked him, who had seen through the surface to recognize his true worth. "Yes," he said after a long pause, emotion thick in his voice. "Yes, I will." The small wedding was intimate, held with only family and close friends. None of the wealthy socialites who had once mocked Marcus were invited. Olivia wore an elegant gown, perfectly simple yet stunning. Marcus wore a suit that, while new, reflected his authenticity, someone who accepted help without compromising his dignity. Lily and Sophie walked down the aisle together as flower girls, laughing and holding hands, the embodiment of the new family's unity. "I like him," Sophie whispered loudly as Marcus waited at the altar. The statement was clear, simple, and heartfelt, causing the small gathering to laugh and melt into warmth. Years later, when asked about her unconventional marriage, Olivia always told the same story. "My daughter saw something I almost forgot to look for. She saw a good man, not a wealthy or powerful man, just someone genuine, kind, and devoted to the people he loved. She said she liked him, and she was absolutely right. Best decision I ever made was listening to an 8-year-old's judgment of character." For Marcus, the lesson was equally profound. Despite a society quick to judge by status or wealth, he realized that the people worth knowing look deeper. And sometimes, simply standing firm in who you are, refusing to be diminished by cruelty, could lead to something truly beautiful. The men who had mocked him at that first charity event eventually saw Marcus in the news, now a respected figure by Olivia's side. He wore nice suits, yes, but he remained unmistakably himself, not trying to belong to their world, just being Marcus. Each encounter reminded them that they had bet on his humiliation and spectacularly lost. Ultimately, the simple wisdom of a child had proven stronger than the arrogance of wealth. Sophie's clarity and honesty had cut through social prejudice, revealing that worth isn't measured in money or titles, but in character, integrity, and love. Marcus Kane had all of that, and more. Their life together continued, grounded in authenticity, love, and respect. Marcus and Olivia worked to teach Lily and Sophie the same values, that judgment should come from character, not wealth, that dignity and kindness matter above all, and that true relationships are built on understanding, honesty, and shared joy. And so, from a setup meant to humiliate, Marcus found a family, respect, and love beyond measure. In the end, the story wasn't about class or wealth. It was about the courage to remain oneself, the wisdom to recognize true character, and the surprising ways life rewards integrity. Marcus Kane, The mechanic who had been set up as a joke had become a symbol of dignity, perseverance, and the timeless truth. Real worth lies in one's heart, actions, and devotion to the people who matter most.